the human brain is waking up every day and desperately trying to forget everything that is not relevant. Okay? Because the human brain cannot remember everything it encounters. So every day it cannot keep everything open on its desktop. Okay? Yeah. So relevance illata subjects is
scanning out.
It's just flushing it out. So when you are studying subject matter that you do not understand and cannot apply, you instantly forget it. So what we're trying to do in healthcare is trying to change that. Okay? So everybody says, are you a rocket scientist? Yeah. To mean that, oh, you're a super smart person. Yeah. Well, let's look at a rocket scientist like Elon Musk. He has a company called SpaceX. If you had to tell somebody, what does SpaceX do? It will take you 1 minute to explain that. SpaceX is a space company. They're trying to build reusable rockets to take humanity to the planet Mars and bring them back safely and reuse the same rocket, so reduce the cost of space travel. Adani Verde mission.
Basic mission.
1 minute edukkum adu pariyanayitte. പക്ഷേ അത് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഒരു lifetime എടുക്കും. And you might still fail, right? So in our educational system, we are not focusing on teaching our children the real world, the problems of the real world that they can understand. Because once you understand the problem, then you can get to the solution.
Okay? You can connect എന്ന് പറയുന്നു.
Exactly. But നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ സംസാരിച്ചപ്പോൾ I was asking you what is your favorite subject and you said it's history, right? ഞാനൊരു കാര്യം ചോദിക്കട്ടെ. Now that you have an interest in history, do you really need to go to Harvard University or Stanford or Oxford or Cambridge to study history?
No.
Do you need to spend money to study history?
No.
The information and the content is available to you for free. The thing is, the challenge is to find things that you find exciting and interesting to you. So, again, if you look at the statistics, if you go back a few thousand years, the human life expectancy was 25 years. Average age 25, majority were passing away and dying. Today, it's like 70, 80. Now, today, in that kalathu, you meet somebody who's in their 20s and ask them, hey, what do you want to do? And their answer is, I don't know. Okay? So, when you look at the lifespan of the human being, so a few thousand years ago, everything you did in life, you did before 25.
25.
Okay? In the 25, enda cheyendennu alkar karjuna. Idinte prashna endana? The foundational system of teaching these kids is foundationally wrong. So what we're trying to do is a long answer, but it's an important thing. So what we're trying to do in education is completely flip that around and focus on teaching the real world. So I'm a computer engineer, okay? And we are doing construction. And we are involved in mechanical and electronics and electrical and all these branches. When I think back, so when I did my computer engineering degree, and by the way, if you meet anybody who's graduated today, they'll say, oh, ഞാൻ കോളേജിൽ പഠിച്ചിറങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ഒന്നും അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. ജോലിക്ക് കയറുമ്പോഴാണ് ഈ സംഭവം എന്താണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നത്. ശരിയല്ലേ? So, we have this vision for accelerated education. So, we're going to have a 3-day program, a 5-day program, and a 3-week program to accelerate the understanding of these subjects for people who are interested. And again, Elon Musk has said when he was asked, and this is a very important point, so let me just make this. He was asked, he's the richest man in the world today. Yeah. I was listening to this fellow when he was in 2008. 2008 till nobody knew about who he was and all. But I made a connection because he was talking things that made sense to me. He was asked the question recently in one of the interviews, what would your advice be to young kids today or youngsters today on what they should do for their careers? His answer was 2 parts. The first part of his answer was, the best advice is to try to be involved in something that is useful to your fellow human beings. Because if you're involved in work that is useful to your fellow human beings, it is very fulfilling. Okay? And you will be excited, inspired, and you're going to do the best you can. The second part of what he said was try to learn a little bit of a lot of things. Because if you learn a little bit of a lot of things, just like I explained what SpaceX does versus the complexity and rocket engineering of how to do it, when you learn a little bit of a lot of things, you start connecting the dots on how the world works, and then you align with something that is interesting to you. And then to get deep into it, it's free because the content is free.